The note that we read yesterday that I saw on Monday, Jonathan Gannon, if he doesn't reach the playoffs this year, will not have reached the playoffs in 3 seasons. There are currently 0 employed head coaches in the NFL who are in their 4th season without a playoff appearance to show for it.
None.
Zero.
None.
Everybody now who's in their 4th season has been to the playoffs at least once. At least once. I mean, Cliff Kingsbury even got to the playoffs. No, I'm being serious, and I'm not trying to degrade anybody. I'm just for comparison's sake. Cliff Kingsbury, by the time he got to the playoffs, right?
I'm still a believer that Gannon's the right guy for this team and Monty Ossenfort. I might change my mind at some point, but right now I'm still of the belief that these are the right guys. But I went back and I looked at the 2023 coaching hirings, inspired by this, that 4 years in, nobody's ever made. I said, well, there's a lot of other guys that are 4 years in now too. Let's take a look at that, because he wasn't the only guy hired in that cycle. So we could start with Mitch and the Denver Broncos. How do you think Sean Payton's doing for the Broncos?
Pretty good.
Yeah, you like it, yeah.
Good.
So Sean Payton went 8-9 his first year, then 10-7, and now he's 3-2 with a big win coming over the Eagles. He's overall 21-18, and yes, Sean Payton did lead the Denver Broncos to the playoffs.
Yes, he did.
21 wins, 18 losses, playoffs. DeMeco Ryans, 10-7, made the playoffs, won a game. 10-7, made the playoffs, won a game. 2-3. Overall, 22 wins and 17 losses. 22-17, 2 separate playoff appearances. Shane Steichen, 9-8 his first year, 8-9 his second year, and right now, as the Colts is one of the hottest teams in the NFL with a 4-1 record, on their way to making the playoffs, but they haven't yet. The only other guy hired was a guy named Frank Reich, who didn't even last the season. He got fired in Carolina. He was 1-10.
I like how you say Frank Reich is he's some ticket taker at the local movie theater.
Yes.
I think most of we all know who Frank Reich is, but yes, some dude,
Frank Reich,
some rando named Frank Reich who came in there for 11 games and he lost 10 of them and he was fired.
The interim head coach of Stanford, Frank Reich.
Stanford's got a lot of money. They can hire whoever they want right now. They got $50 million.
Can you imagine being in a position in your life to write a check to somebody for $50 million?
Yeah, I would never do that. I would just do it, spend it on myself.
I know you would.
And some charity, but I do give to charity.
There's nothing you care enough in this world more than you to give $50 million.
$50 million. Like there's a villa. There's a better villa in Italy than the one I'm going to buy for $50 million.
There's nothing in this world you love enough to give $50 million to. I
do
aware of
really
this.
support all the rescue dogs out there. I spend a lot of money on.
But $50 million.
No, but
worth?
I spent a lot of money on rescue dogs. A lot.
Rescue dogs going to be eating caviar and drinking
we give a lot of money to rescues that are helping dogs out.
Please don't rescue me.
Whales.
I want to be unrescued because Gambo's paying $50 million.
We spent a lot of money on whales, like the ones in the sea.
Anyway.
Jonathan Gannon, 4-13, 8-9, 2-3 overall record of 14-25. So I'm going to go over. I'm going to take Frank Reich out. All right.
Okay.
Peyton, 21-18, made the playoffs. Ryans, 22-17, twice made the playoffs. Steichen, 21-18, on his way to making the playoffs. All 3 of those guys have winning records, and then you've got Gannon at 14-25. That stands out like a sore thumb, okay? That stands out. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm saying that I would get rid of him. I'm going to continue to say right now that unless he loses the football team and they lose 7 out of the next 10, I still believe that Gannon is a good coach and that he cares and that Monty had a lot of work to do, because I think the cupboards were more bare here than they were in Indianapolis or with the Texans or with the Broncos. I think the cupboard was more bare here, and I think it takes more time for Monty to get this right. So I'm still willing to give those guys another year beyond this year if this year doesn't work out, unless this team goes 4-13.
Well, and that's what but unfortunately, that's what a loss like Sunday has led us to think is possible. You think that's the problem with Sunday. Yeah, the problem with Sunday is you start imagining the absolute worst case scenario.
Yeah, they're going,
and suddenly the worst case scenario is a different scenario than you would have thought of at the beginning of the season, right? What we would have defined as our worst case scenario at the start of the season, we're imagining way worse now. We're imagining that your boy Connor Orr from Sports Illustrated maybe wasn't all that wrong when he said 6-11. Look, I don't want to see Gannon go either, mainly because
I get to pick the music.
No.
In training camp?
No, because I think he's, boy, up until Sunday, I would have said I like the culture, I like the room, I like his leadership, I like his kind of stoic demeanor, and all that kind of went to heck when he went after Amari DiMercato on the sideline. I do really wonder about the can a guy go 3 years without making the playoffs in the NFL, and I hear everything you're saying, but man, this is the NFL. Quick turnarounds happen all the time, and at some point, we can't keep blaming everything on Steve Keim's leadership and give the current regime a pass on their inability to build a contender. This is the NFL. The Colts survived Anthony Richardson, got Daniel Jones off the scrap heap. They're one of the best teams in the AFC.
San Francisco 49ers are an injury ward.
And they're
and
at
Mac
top
Jones
of the
is
division.
3-0.
And they're on top of the division.
So you cannot use the excuses. Not in the NFL.
Can't.
No, in the NFL you can't.
And the biggest thing I think that's gonna cause us to rethink this, I really do. It's less Gannon and it's more Monty. Okay, I'm sincere about this.
Are you thinking D-Rob, Walter Nolan?
Yes, Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah, like all that stuff. And I think the only thing that's going to give all of the above a pass is if they come to the realization they had the wrong quarterback the whole time and they want to give everybody one more shot with a new quarterback. I think that's the get out of jail monopoly card.
But here's the problem with that, and we're not ready to write the close the book on Monty's draft picks.
We're having
we have some guys that haven't even played
here,
yet,
right?
And I think some of these draft picks are going to be great.
These are hypothetical conversations.
If you go with a new quarterback next year, first of all, the quarterback class in the draft is not great. That's one. And number two, you're probably going with some retread quarterback and saying, okay, save our jobs with some guy who's been around the scrap heap 3 or 4. Now, not to say it hasn't happened before, because they did it with Carson Palmer and Kurt Warner.
Yeah. So Daniel Jones is maybe doing right now in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
If that season had gotten sideways, I don't know. Perhaps, maybe. But yeah, I mean, again, these are all hypothetical. But that's where it's just as much Gannon as it is to me roster construction. And did you get the right guys? Did you draft the right guys? Nobody's made that year 2 leap yet for this team. Nobody. Marvin Harrison Jr., Max Melton, Darius Robinson, all the guys, Trey Benson, he's hurt, he can't. Isaiah Adams, like nobody's made that year 2 jump yet.
It's fair. And there has been a lot of injuries involved, and you just can't do anything about that. I mean, Walter Nolan may be a great player, but we haven't seen him play yet.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.